Good morning and happy Friday. Today's the 1st of May and it is the first day of Everyday May, just as the washing machine decides to be really noisy in the background. Yay! So excuse that in the background, it chooses its moments. But yeah, it's the start of Everyday May, which means I'm going to be daily vlogging every day throughout May. So expect a new little video every day of just what's happening in life, especially at the moment as we've got the coronavirus going on and we're all in lockdown or quarantine or whatever you want to call it. So we'll see how the month sort of pans out, because things are starting to, you know, what is it? The curve is flattening or something like that, I don't know. So yeah, we'll see where the month takes us with that. I do have lots of things planned for the month. I have a nice lovely little list full of things that hopefully we'll be able to get through and have fun doing. But today I am concentrating on this lovely little quilt behind me. It's my Liberty Hearts quilt. I have sashed it. I put one of the first borders on, and today I'm working on the next border out. I have decided to do something that I've never really done in a quilt before, and that is to add little cornerstones, or like little sort of like corner blocks, mainly because I didn't have enough fabric to do the rest of the borders. I only have this little piece of fabric here. I wanted to put like quite a big chunky border on it, but I don't have enough fabric to do that, and I really don't want to go shopping for more fabric, mainly because we really shouldn't, and I should really try and use what I have and be a bit creative and not be so lazy. So I figured out that if I put little like corner stone, I'm calling them cornerstones or corner blocks, cornerstones. Yeah. If I put them in the corner, I will be able to just squeeze out a 5.5 inch border out of this fabric. So yesterday I spent some time doing a little bit of quilt math, which is hard math because you just got to add in seam allowances and all this sort of stuff. I mean, my brain almost blew up because quilt math can be really hard. And so what I did is I managed to figure out how to make my little heart block into a 5.5 inch block. The ones that I've used in the quilt are 7.5, so managed to figure out how to do a 5.5 inch square so I can do a border at 5.5 inch sort of width, and it should all fit. Yeah, it'll make more sense once I sort of start making it and showing you what I'm doing. So I made 3 of these little blocks. I've got another one here on my design wall, and these are going to go in the corners. So one here, so on and so forth, and then you'll have the borders. So I made 3 yesterday, and I thought I'd make the last one today, and I'll show you the measurements and stuff. If you would like to make a 5.5 inch version of this gorgeous little block. So this block starts out with cutting 2 2.25 inch squares, and then 1 2.25 by 4 inch rectangle. You sew these together, and then you sew these 2 onto here, and then if you cut 2 3.5 inch squares and then actually cut them in half, then you've got your little triangles to go on each side once the center has been pieced, and you end up with something that looks like that. So I'm going to quickly piece up this block because it literally takes seconds to make, and then I'll start adding on the border pieces, and we should get this quilt top finished today. I do actually have a finished planned for this quilt next Sunday, which I think is the 10th of May. It must be. I don't know. It's Mother's Day. I'm going to give this quilt to my mum. It's been a while since I've given her a quilt. It's getting colder here as well. It's actually really quite cold today. It's about 15 degrees today, so it's chilly. So yeah, I thought it would be perfect for mum because I haven't given her a quilt in ages. It's getting cold. I don't have any plan for this quilt. It's got love hearts and it's lovely, and it just all fits. So I can definitely get this finished by next Sunday for her, and hopefully she'll like it. I'm sure she will. I'll do a really nice like embroidered label, and yeah, it's gonna be nice. So, oh, the Charlie boy has joined us. Hello, Charlie. Oh, Let's open the dirty window. Hello, Charlie boy. How are you, my darling? Oh. Yeah, the quilt is for Mum. I'm going to finish doing my little heart and we'll pop borders on and get this quilt top finished today. Happy days! So this is my dilemma. This is the piece of fabric that I have. I've just folded it over. Once I've straightened it, I've just popped all the blocks on. This is all the strips that I will be cutting for the borders. This is how much I'm short. So we are going to have to do some very delicate scant seams, I think. I should be able to just squeeze. I am determined to get what I can from this piece of fabric. I'm determined that it will work. We're going to make it work, even if my seams are just slightly smaller than what they really should be, but we can do it. We can do it. I'm going to give the piece of fabric a press so that it's as perfect as I can get it, and then we'll cut the strips for our borders. Oh, that's so not good. Crap. Okay, so I did it. I cut them. The last one is a little bit iffy though. I did cut just slightly under 5.5 inches, just so I could really squeeze it all in, but... So this is the last strip I cut, and just right here at the end, it just doesn't quite fit, but that's okay. The width of the quilt top isn't the whole width of the fabric, so I might be able to just cut off this narrow bit because it only just narrows here at the end, so there is still hope. I haven't given up yet. I am determined to do it, so I think we'll start with this one first, the one that's a little bit too narrow, and we'll see what we can do. So I did it. I didn't film it because it frustrated the hell out of me just getting all of the bits like correct and stuff, but I did it and I really like it. So what I did is I sewed on these two borders first, and then I measured from this corner to that corner to get the size of this piece plus seam allowance. Then I pieced the two corners onto the border piece and then sewed it on. And yeah, that's the result. The top row went better than the bottom row because this bottom row I used the one that was just slightly narrow. My nested seams are slightly out, but you know, you're not going to tell. And I had to do a really scant sort of 1/4 inch seam. We successfully did it, and now this quilt top is finished, and I'm really happy with the result. I was really quite skeptical of this working. I don't know, I sort of went in and out of liking it, but I think it looks good. I'm going to do a white binding just to add in another sort of, I don't know, element of white. I think it will sort of finish and border it off or frame it off really nice. Now I gotta find a fabric to back it with. Something that's going to go with all the colours and something that I think my mum will like. She's a very plain, simple person, not to like, you know, say that that's a bad thing. So like she's not really in with the big bold colours and the patterns and like everything that I love, she's like the opposite of. So I gotta think of what I have that will work. Okay, so I've had a bit of a sticky through my stash, and I think I've come up with one that I like and I think suits. Yeah, so I found these two fabrics. So they're like a spotty with a little gold spot on it. Now I don't have enough, even though it looks like I've got tons, I don't have enough to do a full backing out of just one. So I think I'm going to do a pieced backing, just like I did with my, similar to what I did with my Hexie quilt. I think what I'm going to do is do like a big piece out of this green one, and then do a strip of the white one just along the bottom, so then it will really help highlight the label. So we'll have kind of looking like that, I think. So yeah, because they're really nice muted pastel sort of colours, it works well. This sort of minty green is actually in the Liberty print, Cosmos Meadow, and yeah, it's nice and subtle, it's not too intense for mum's liking, I don't think, and it's really soft. This fabric is so soft and lovely, so I think that will work. Happy days. I know I've said it, but I'll say it again, but I'm really happy with the way that it's turned out. It was touch and go with whether I liked it or not, but I think it looks nice. And the way that I've sort of sashed it, it looks like it's like a window, and it's got hearts in the window, so nice, perfect for mum. I think I might this afternoon do some research on some nice embroidered labels and maybe like draw one up and see what it looks like. I might do one that's similar to this one that I made for my friend Aisha for her swoon quilt that I did for her last year. So this is the label that I designed for that quilt. So I might do something similar to this for mum's label. I might do like a thank you for just doing absolutely everything for us, because she does. My mum is a legend. Actually, I might actually use this as a template and just change it up a bit. Sounds like a plan. So I'll do that, and I'll show you what I come up with once it's done. Oh my gosh, it's cold today, like freezing, like it's icy. Apparently we've got some polar blast happening at the moment, I don't know, but all of the cool air is coming off the Blue Mountains and it's freezing. My hands are so cold. I did the label for mum's quilt and I'm very happy with it. This is what we did. I just wrote thank you for everything you do for us, and I put a little Bible verse there. It's 1 Corinthians 16-14, which is do everything in love, or do everything with love. Oh, what is it? Do everything in love, which I thought was very fitting because it's love hearts and it's Mother's Day and I love my mum, and you know, love is everything. I think for the rest of the afternoon I'm going to snuggle up on the lounge for quilt, of course, and do some embroidery. I'm in the mood to do some embroidery today. I haven't for a long time, but today I just feel like doing some stitching, and I might watch some Netflix. I'm currently watching, it is the most wholesome show I've ever seen. I'm watching When Calls the Heart. It's so lovely. It's a bit naff, a little bit like, I don't know, you have to be quite patient with it, I think. But it's really, really lovely. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say about it. If you're interested in it, I'd recommend it. So I'm going to leave today here. I'm not really planning on making each day all that long, but you know, we'll see what happens. There's lots of things that I've got planned, as I mentioned this morning. A couple of different things that I've promised that I'm going to do and I just haven't done. I'm going to make it a priority to do during May. Top of my list is to do a very, very overdue sewing machine review. I did one when I first got the machine, and it's now been over 2 years since I've had the machine, and a lot of people are asking questions about it. They want sort of like a demonstration on it, and I sort of want to give my 2 cents of what I think about my Brother PS 1500 SL. I always forget what it's called. Yeah, just what I think about it after using it for 2 years and really learning its quirks and the things that it does really great and then the things that it doesn't do all that great either. But anyway, we'll leave that for the day that I will do that. But I will be definitely reviewing that again this month. I'm just going to tell you some of the things that I got planned, and then you can let me know maybe of some of the things that you would like me to do as well. So sewing machine review, I'm going to review the quilts that I did last year, as well as the quilts that I would like to make or are planning to make this year. So it's going to be like 2019 versus 2020 quilts type thing. I'm going to show you how to make a really easy, I think it's easy because I've done it so many times, but it might be a bit different for you, but just a really simple like floral bouquet. For those of you who don't know, I am actually a fully trained florist. I've just really struggled to get a job in the industry because they all want experience, which is really frustrating. But anyway, so I'm going to show you how I do that, and it's going to be a bouquet that I'm going to make for Mother's Day for Mum. I'm going to show you how I wash my quilts. I have a couple of quilts that need washing, so I was like, let's put that in Everyday May and I'll show you what I do when I wash my quilts. Obviously we're going to finish this as well. Let's see what else I've got. We might break out a puzzle. I have a puzzle that is all like sewing notions. We'll chat a little bit about some of my favorite quilt blogs, some of my favorite fabrics, as well as some of my favorite like tutorials and things like that. I think maybe we'll see. There's a few like little kits and things that I have put to the side that I've either been given or I've bought at like quilt shows that I might break out and do. We might maybe do a block tutorial. You can sort of see it here if I get a chance to do it. It's called the Brasstown Star Block. I've been meaning to do this tutorial for like the last 2 years. It just hasn't happened, so we might do that. We'll see how that goes. If you don't follow me on Instagram, then you would possibly not see that I'm learning how to play the ukulele. I'm not very good, I don't think anyway. I only know 4 chords and that's it. I only know how to play a really basic version of You Are My Sunshine and Let It Be by the Beatles, and I'm trying to learn how to play Riptide by Vance Joy. It's not going anywhere because it's really quite tricky. But yeah, that's just some of the things that I've got planned for this month that you can look forward to. So thank you all so much for joining me on our first day of Everyday May. I don't know whether that's going to get easier to say. Oh, that rhymed as well. Oh my gosh, it's all flowing. What's going on? Anyway, I'm gonna go. I will see you again tomorrow for day 2. I hope you're all having a lovely day, keeping happy and safe and healthy, and yes, see you tomorrow. Bye.